Welcome back. This is a battle for the lead. Daniel Suarez in the 76, right on the back bumper of that 26 of Greg Pursley. We still see the smoke coming out of the right side of that 26 when he gets out of the gas.
Yeah, Rick, I'm not sure that smoke's not getting worse. Also, that's allowed Daniel Suarez to catch up to him. There's the 17 of David Mayhew, now just 3 or 4 car lengths behind Suarez. Was talking about Suarez before we went away to commercial. He jumped in this X-Team car, extremely competitive, top 10 just about every time out.
I mentioned David Mayhew back behind these two. David Mayhew's been running in a few different series, trying to get more experience.
Did a tremendous job jumping in Kevin Harvick's truck a couple times. 2 top 3 finishes for David Mayhew.
Well, we continue to see the smoke out of the right side of the 26. Bob, are they talking on the radio about that being a problem?
Absolutely not. They have not said a word to Greg Pursley inside that race car. So honestly, we don't even know if Greg Pursley knows that there's some smoke trailing from that 26 machine. But the guy right behind him right now, Daniel Suarez, I tell you what, he told me before the race that he wants the lead because he believes that's the place he wants to stay to control his entire race and go to victory lane here. Coleman Presley is his crew chief, and he said he's got the talent, he can get the job done. I got to rein him back sometimes and give him a little patience, but he thinks he can win this race here today.
Yeah, it's funny to hear Coleman Presley crew chief. You know, we normally, when we hear Coleman Presley's name, he's behind the wheel of a race car.
Yeah, he started out running the first few races in the E Series for X-Team Racing, and they ran out of funding, so he stepped back and did the crew chief role, doing a great job. Coleman's a nice young man here and an awfully talented race car driver.
See, still a lot of smoke coming out from behind the 26 of Greg Pursley. He's led every lap. We've completed 11 on lap 12 here at Phoenix.
There goes Suarez, moves to the inside to try to take over that lead from Pursley.
Got the preferred line now. We'll see how they do with slower lap traffic. They are going to split the slower lap traffic, and it is Daniel Suarez who takes the lead away from Greg Pursley.
I just wonder if that's a situation where Daniel Suarez said, I'm getting some oil on my windshield. I need to go ahead and get by him before that covers my windshield and I have to make a pit stop. There's Kwasniewski right there, the 0-3. Remember, he lost a car in practice yesterday, had to go to a backup, had to start from the back of the field.
Dylan Kwasniewski still trying to hold on to that position just in
trouble.
And around goes the 23. Spencer Gallagher almost into the wall, stays out of the wall.
He keeps it out of the we stay green for the moment. I think they're going to have to throw the caution flag. Caution is out now.
He couldn't find a spot to slide back into, so the caution will come out for the first time. He was running in the 32nd spot when he got turned around.
Spencer did a nice job keeping that car out of the outside. Well, watch him now. He's on the inside. He's right behind Kwasniewski in the 0-3. He gets down in the corner, makes a little bit of contact with the 51 of Carlos Vieira. And around he goes, does a nice job locking those brakes down, keeping that car out of the outside wall. There's another view. Watch the contact right here as they enter turn number 1. Carlos does a nice job maintaining control. Spencer does a nice job keeping that car out of the wall.
The NASCAR officials will have to make an exception here because they weren't going to be allowed to change any tires until the halfway break. But in this situation, obviously those tires are flat spotted. First caution here in Phoenix. Welcome back, season finale for the NASCAR K&N Pro Series West. See the beautiful sunset here, Avondale, Arizona. Let's go trackside to Bob Dillner.
Came down to the 26 pit to find out what was going on with that smoke that we were seeing from Greg Pursley's race car, and I spoke to Jerry Pitts, the crew chief, and he told me honestly they don't know what it is right now. They don't believe it's anything mechanical. They think it's a tire rub right now, and that's what they're going with. But Greg Pursley said on the radio his car's a little bit loose, and that's exactly where they want it right now, because as nightfall comes upon this racetrack and it gets darker and colder, they believe this track's going to tighten up a little bit, and then that car would be perfect.
And that would be difficult for the rest of the field if he has a perfect race car. Well, a lot of people are following social networking, and on Twitter, Jeff Burton just tweeted, check out K&N Race on Speed. Lots of young drivers that you will see in Cup in the future.
I think that's very true, and I appreciate Jeff watching as well as trying to get his fans to tune in too, because I'm telling you, this is an incredible field. And we talk about the teenagers. It's amazing. The 15-year-olds, and we've got 16, 17, 18, 19-year-olds. So much talent.
A lot of youth, again, trying to make their name known. And what a great place when you've got Cup owners and Nationwide Series owners here watching right here and able to go up and say hello to these drivers.
Yeah, and not as not just the teenagers too. People like David Mayhew, who Kevin Harvick thought enough of to put him in his truck, and he finished finished third twice in that truck this season.
Daniel Suarez was able to take over the top spot from Greg Pursley. We'll see how they do on the restart. Suarez chooses the inside line coming out of turn number 4. Green flag back in the air. We're back underway.
Pretty even start, yeah.
Saw Mayhew move up the racetrack into the 9 of Derek Thorne. Thorne had to check up and go up into a higher line. I don't think he wanted to be there.
Greg Pursley's hanging in tough. He told Bob at the very beginning, he said, we saw the Nationwide guys go side by side. We're going to do it too.
We've also seen the Nationwide drivers cut off that dog leg and go through the middle of it, and just saw a driver do it. And wow, sideways is Pursley as he takes the lead away from Suarez.
How about Mayhew posted the inside of Suarez, try to take over that second spot.
David Mayhew on the bottom of the racetrack. Daniel Suarez up a row higher in the 76, but he's able to hold on to the second position. Mayhew drops back to third.
Alex Bowman is pulled into the 4th spot now in that 25 car. Derek Thorne back to 5th.
Nose to tail, the top 15 around this racetrack now.
It's amazing. They spend millions of dollars to reconfigure and repave this racetrack. They cut the corner off and the dog leg, and then now they're running the left sides as we see contact with the 74 of Daniel Suarez into the outside wall, and he's losing a bunch of positions here. I'm sorry, that's Iaconelli.
Iaconelli in the 74 that kissed the wall coming out of turn number 4. Hit it pretty hard. He was running 15th.
Yeah, that's a teammate to Daniel Suarez. Both of those cars coming out of the X-Team stable. Johnny Borneman now gets to the inside in the 8 car. You can see the damage to the right side of Iaconelli's car as he gets down here to turn number 1.
So Carlos Iaconelli in the 74, the right side tires have the paint that was on the wall in turn number 4 as he smacked it coming out of 4. Right in front of one of our cameras.
Yeah, a little bit of tire smoke. Let's take a look back at what happened. He just exits the corner coming off turn number 4. Just gets a little bit too wide. You see the contact there to the inside or to the outside wall.
And big problems on the track.
Cameron Haley, the 24, is involved.
That 15-year-old Cameron Haley. You see the 88.
Jessica Brunelli.
As well as the 14 of Travis Milburn. So the second caution comes out on lap 23.
Your 15-year-old Cameron Haley with a lot of damage to the 24. There's Jessica Brunelli. Had a great qualifying effort. Jessica qualified back in the 17th spot, but tremendous amount of damage to that Bill McAnally Camry of Cameron Haley.
There's more damage to Travis Milburn's number 14.
Cameron made a pit stop earlier on that caution flag. You see him on the inside of the racetrack right now. Ooh, Jessica Brunelli gets sideways, nowhere for Cameron to go. He hits the brakes. That turns the car around. Travis Milburn comes along also with nowhere to go.
It's caught up in the accident.
See the contact between the 88 and the 13. That turns Jessica around. Cameron was right there. He had made a pit stop on that previous caution flag, so he was back a little bit farther than he would have been, and ultimately that led to him being involved in this incident.
Cameron Haley, his crew saying that's it, not going to be able to continue with this one. So the second caution comes out. Very tricky racetrack here at Phoenix International Raceway. Next Friday night, the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series ends their 2011 season. Everyone chasing Austin Dillon as he is closing in on his first NASCAR championship. That is 7:30 p.m. Eastern, right here on Speed. The conclusion of the 2011 season for the Camping World Truck Series. And we are still underway with the Casino Arizona 125. The second caution came out. They are continuing to clean this racetrack. And as they do that, we'll go down to Bob Dillon.
And Rick, nice to see a 4-time NASCAR K&N Pro Series East champion, Andy Santerre, here on pit road. He's actually the crew chief today for the guy that runs 5th right now, Derek Thorne, in that number 9 car. And it's funny, they actually had a very good race car all day long. But yesterday, that car was hopping all over the racetrack. So a brand new race car, they nicknamed it Karl Malone because Karl is one of his favorite basketball players. But just over the radio just moments ago, they started discussing that nickname, and Andy Santerre said, you know what, Karl Malone, they called him the mailman. So why don't you deliver at the end of this race and put us in victory lane?
He was a wide body too, Carl Malone.
Yeah, he was. Only 5 starts this year for Derek Thorne. 3 top 3 finishes in those 5 starts, and he will actually move full time to the 6th car, which is the primary car for this Rob Rumcati team.
I want to take a look back at why we're under this caution.
Much as we go down in turn number 3, the 88 of Jessica Brunelli gets sideways. Cameron Haley comes along with absolutely nowhere to go, as well as the 14 of Travis Melbourne. But Rick, what we were talking about, they paid a lot of money to repave this racetrack. You see when Jessica got her left sides down below the yellow line, that actually upset her car. She got a little bit loose, got into Todd Souza, turned her around.
We're seeing a lot of people try to go down below that yellow line, maybe hook the left front on that yellow line to get a little extra turning ability around this racetrack, because they've been searching for grip ever since we started the day, although we did get a track record, and there was a little bit of grip when we saw that this morning.
Yeah, but it was still cool and overcast this morning when the K&N guys qualified. But as the sun came out and it heated up for the nationwide qualifying as well as Sprint Cup qualifying, the track slowed down immensely and really got hard to handle. Now as it cools off again, we're getting that grip back.
And the cleaning crew continues to clean up the mess in turn number 4. While they do that, we'll slip away to break.